Hey there and welcome to my video. This is Laura Lynn with Keep Inking Up. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up in San Antonio, Texas. And today I wanted to share some tips using the Penguin Place stamp set and the coordinating Penguin Builder Punch. We're going to be showing you how to get a really nice solid stamped image for the penguin and then use the punch as efficiently as possible with our cardstock. These days we need to make sure that we use all of our products as efficiently as possible because all the prices are going up like crazy. I don't know about you, but it's really becoming an issue. Anyway, I'm going to set these aside for the moment because I'm going to pull in my Stamparatus. That is my #1 tip for stamping these cute little penguins, because I do want a really nice solid image, and being able to add layers of black ink will really help me to get a nice solid stamped image. So the Stamparatus is extremely helpful, and because this is a photopolymer stamp set, I am using my deluxe foam mat in my Stamparatus. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the paper saving tip. I have a piece of our basic white cardstock here. And what I want to do is I want to look at my punch, and you need to do this with any of our builder punches. You need to see how the image that you want to punch out is actually placed on your punch. So for example, this is my penguin image, and as you can tell, when I place the paper into the punch, this part right here has the penguin upside down. So I want to make sure that I place my penguin upside down on my cardstock. And I wanted to place it in the corner of the cardstock because I want to use the paper as efficiently as possible. So I'm placing my image on my cardstock as close to the corner as I can, because I will have the least amount of waste that way. Now, I do want to also mention that it is helpful to try to stay as far away from the hinge on the Stamparatus as possible, especially with solid stamped images. And the reason is, if I were to place my image right next to the hinge, because of the hinge, the physics of it, I may have trouble getting this part of the penguin nice and solidly stamped because it's too close to the hinge. I'm not able to press the plate down far enough to get a really good image. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to rotate it after I've placed my image on my paper like that. I'm going to rotate it so it's further away. Now it doesn't have to be this far away. This is kind of extreme, but it's just best to not be right up next to the hinge. You can come out even just a half of an inch from the hinge is fine, but I am going to go ahead and place it over here. Just for efficiently using my cardstock. So I'm going to pick up my stamp, and now I'm going to ink my penguin with the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Make sure my paper's in the corner. I'll stamp it down. And hopefully you can see, I don't know if there's too much glare on there, you can see how he's not quite solid right down there in the middle. He's pretty good at the top of the head, but because this is in the Stamparatus, I have the ability to ink up my penguin once again and add more black ink. And that just gives me an opportunity to get it darker and darker. And I think that's pretty good, but I'm going to do it one more time, because I can, and I want to make sure he's nice and dark. Oh, see, now there, he's lovely. He is completely dark, completely solid. Isn't that wonderful? Now, what I can do because of the Stamparatus too, is I can simply rotate my cardstock, and I can stamp him again in a corner. So with this one piece of cardstock, I can very easily get 4 penguins. So I'm going to do the same thing. Ink him up a few times because, again, he's not quite solid. Oh, there, he looks pretty good. Now to do the other 2 corners, I can't rotate it because I've already rotated again. So I'm going to flip it, and hopefully, I don't know if you can see, but I can see that I've stamped on the other side here and here, which means if I put this cardstock in this corner here, then I will get the penguin there. And so I can stamp 2 more. So I can get a total of 4 penguins on this one sheet of cardstock. Okay, all right, so let's move on to the punching part. Because we have strategically placed this, when we go to punch out our penguins, you'll see that I can very easily just, I'll line up my penguin and punch him out. And look at how little waste there is. And then I can go around here and I can punch out the other penguin. Line that up. Now see, I used it very efficiently on this cardstock as compared to the other one. I'll bring that one in again so you can see how efficient this is, how efficiently I'm using the cardstock. So now I've got three little penguins. I don't know why I keep calling them pumpkins. But you can see how efficiently I used that cardstock versus this one. Now obviously this is a bigger piece of cardstock, but you can still tell that I wasted because I got the other parts of the builder punch in there, whereas this one, I came close to the edge, and so I did not get those other two pieces in there. So it's a much more efficient use of cardstock, and then using the Stamparatus helps me to get some really nice, solid black little penguins. And so they are ready for me to just add some accessories to them so I can make cute little pumpkins for tags, boxes, cards, whatever I need to do. Make some cute little pumpkins. I keep calling them pumpkins. Cute little penguins for this holiday season coming up. Thank you again so much for joining me. I hope you learned something new. I hope that you will use these tips the next time that you use the Penguin Place stamp set and coordinating Penguin Builder Punch. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.